Morning, Gospel Life Church. Weekly devotional here. Pastor Dave just wanted to say hi. Hope you're having a great week and share a verse with you. And then also just spend a couple of seconds reminding you this weekend. But the verse for the day, the verse that I really came across this week, I'm pulling it up here. Read it this morning as I was going through the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 7, verses 7 through 11. Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, speaking to his disciples, crowds also there listening in, and he tells them, ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and the one who seeks finds, and to the one who knocks it will be open. Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone, or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Let me read that again at the end there. If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? There's a lot that could be said about that passage, but today I just want to highlight the idea of asking. The idea of going before the Father in prayer, to bringing things before the Lord. And it's something that I think that we as a church could definitely use some work on. We may pray individually, which is great, but to combine our efforts and pray together and have times of corporate prayer. I mean, we do have prayer meetings on Sundays. We got one this Friday. I'm going to talk a little bit about this weekend, but just that reminder, ask and it will be given to you. I mean, are we even asking? Are we even going to the Lord in prayer together? Keith and I last week went to a seminar, and at this seminar, they were talking about things in the church and various trends that are happening, other things like that. But one of the things that they brought up were, what are the areas of neglect in most churches? And number one, across the board, in their surveys that they've done and their research that they've done, was prayer. Most churches, and conservative churches in particular, give lip service to prayer, but spend very little time in it. And so it was a challenge to me this morning, to even in my personal prayer life, but also corporately, how often are we praying and asking the Lord and seeking the Lord's face? You have an opportunity to do that this Friday. This weekend's a big weekend. I think we do have a lot of newer faces in our church, but to realize that this church has been around for over 200 years. I mean, we're celebrating the 200th year, but we've been here for 201 years. That's a long time of a community of believers over generations, over time, coming together. It's something worth celebrating. It's something, in my opinion, to carve some time out and to look back on the faithfulness of God, to realize that we're part of a stream, a whole connection of believers in this area, in one gathered body through 2 centuries. So I'd encourage you to really take time for this weekend, in particular, that prayer time. The reason we're doing a prayer time on Friday night is so that we're able to anticipate what the Lord has for the future, to pray for the next 200 years for this church. And just a little heads up, what it's going to look like. You're going to walk in to the congregation, to the sanctuary. There'll be prayer guides there. You're going to sit down and just pray. If it's 5 minutes, come on for 5 minutes. If it's for an hour, that'd be great. But 5 minutes would be great. Just on your way back from work, maybe stop in, spend a few minutes praying. Do you really believe what Jesus said here, right? Ask and it will be given to you. Are we seeking the Lord? And just encourage you to come this weekend. I know we all have busy lives. We all have crazy lives. There's all sorts of stuff, but the design of this weekend is twofold: to remember what God's done and look back at the faithfulness of God. That's the commemorate stuff, right? That's the service in the evening that we're going to have on Saturday, the dinner, to have people from the past. We're going to have Pastor Hadley there, Pastor Amundsen there. We're going to have some of our missionaries there. We're going to hear from our missionaries. I mean, to just commemorate the great faithfulness of God to us as a body. And then secondly, some of you might be wondering, why are we doing something for the community? Well, because that's the future, right? The future is these group of people who might show up at our doors that don't know Jesus, who will become part of our community because of the work of the Lord Jesus Christ and the fact that he will draw them and save them. And so we commemorate the past, but we also look forward to the next 200 years. And that's the design of this weekend. I'd encourage you to come along and be part of it. And the challenge for each of us today from the words of Jesus is ask and it will be given. Are we praying? Are we seeking the Lord? So I hope to see you this weekend. It's going to be not only just a great time of remembering, it's going to be a great time of fellowship and celebrating the goodness of God through multiple years here in the Evans City, Butler, and Cranberry region. Hope you have a wonderful day in the Lord. I look forward to seeing you on Friday night and also on Saturday. God bless.